belt. And Janja hid in a container, afraid of being booed. She arrived hidden in a container because she was afraid of showing up at the reception and getting booed by the crowd. All strategically planned to try to hide the failure. Leo Diaz ended up revealing it. Here we're going to show these and other situations. When Lula passed by the Samba school, people were raising bags of money, associating him with the master case. So beautiful. Awesome, huh? Hit that like button. It's right there. Hit the like button. That really helps a lot. And come be part of our family. Don't forget to subscribe here. I'm not doing all the coverage to expose. In general, my friends, before we start, I want you to take a look at this image here. Do you see it? It's me in a Adrielison. Look at how big my face was. Look at the size. This other video here that I made for TikTok, I made it about 5 or 6 months ago. Look at my double chin. Look at the size of my face. Look how swollen I was. 20 kilos more. 20 kilos more. Now, I want you to take a look at this other image here. Do you see it, guys? Slimfever, this product here that I advertise on the channel, here on our channel, is official, okay? It's official. It's the place with the biggest discount, because I have a partnership directly with the owner of Slimfever. You know why? It was through this little product here that I managed to lose 20 kilos. 20 kilos? I used to weigh 105 kilos. Today I'm at 85, thanks to Slimfever. So, if you're thinking about going on a diet, we all know it's the end of the year, right? At the beginning of the year and all, to stay in shape, I use Slimfever. It's a little powder, you put it in water, stir it, and it'll give you that feeling of fullness, you know? And you'll be able to lose inches. If I can do it, why can't you do it too? So, it's a great product in the fight against obesity. For us to lose weight and look good, it's an excellent opportunity. All the results here a few months ago, 20 kilos. I'm living proof that I managed to lose weight. I made a direct deal with the Slimfever supplier. You won't be able to buy it at our price anywhere else. This is the best deal on the whole internet. So the link is right here, just below. Don't miss this opportunity. Let's lose weight, get slim, look good, I'm sure. Look, your quality of life will change. The link is right here, just below. It couldn't have turned out better. The situation couldn't be better. Janja had to leave the parade because she stayed there. Got some advice, don't go, and all that. Anyway, it ended up happening, right? Early election campaigning. Lula will still get into a lot of trouble, right? Then Janja leaves, and she chooses this here. One of the biggest freeloaders of public money, Fafa de Belém, just a few days ago, she received almost 10 million in grants. Rouanet. Look here, Janja chickened out. She backed out at the last minute from joining the parade. Now I say that it wasn't even because she was afraid of the Superior Electoral Court, but because the school decided to tell the story of Marisa Leticia. The school chose an actress there, someone named Julianne Barone and all, who is the wife of the owner of Institute. For Lula, right, who has a channel here on YouTube, has a page, is a supporter of Lula. This lady there is a former Globo actress, right? And the guy is a banker, a left-wing banker, but that's fine, right? Of course he does the work there for Lula and all, right? But the focus here is on these characters. His wife went and played Marisa Leticia, right? Lula's ex-wife, Janja, got outraged, started making a scene.
There are people like that.
There's me, this Marisa Leticia, not even Caraca. Whether people want to believe it or not, whether they like it or not, Marisa Leticia was the first lady. Lula legitimately had the first and the second term, even though it was during the worst corruption this country has ever seen. But at that time, by the way, he was elected, which we don't really consider, because in 2022, Bolsonaro was censored. Brazil Paralelo. Now, everything is being shown. You couldn't even post images of September 7th, all of that. Janja is not considered the first lady. That's a fact. But she gets outraged because she surpassed Marisa Leticia. There you go. She had to choose Fafa de Belém to parade in her place. She was supposed to be here, and then it got even worse. She chose the freeloader, Fafa de Belém. Guys, we were kids when she used to be on Globo all the time. There weren't any other artists. We never imagined how these artists were sucking our money. Our parents never imagined that someone like Fafa de Belém, guys, everything they have is thanks to the people. Today, we know that we always supported this party, always supported it and went there. Got booed.
Booed, thank you.
It was Jaju. It's worse. You don't know. At least the world. And it's time for love. So, he had to go to the shopping mall. He went down the escalator. He was waving there, waving. But, let's see here. What? But Leo Diaz, he has several journalists who followed everything. This great journalist here also showed off, managed to get on the helicopter car, then, again, gave up on staying in the middle of the parade. She arrived hidden in a container, afraid of getting hungry.
This would be the car that would come, the First Lady Janja. Fafa de Belém, she gave up at the last minute on coming in the car. Fafa de Belém, look, she's in her place, here in front of the car. We found out. I exchanged a few words with the First Lady, the lady now, just a little while ago up there in front of the band. We found out there was a strong security scheme and that she used it to hide the First Lady.
She had to hide under a strong security scheme.
She used the container that's at the gathering area at the beginning of the track and stayed hidden inside. The windows were all covered with a blue curtain.
The fear of being booed was hidden in a closed container. Everything there and all sealed. Because, just imagine, Lula was booed, and she was booed too, because she was with Lula at the time. There in the box, she was there with him. Lula being booed. There was no way to hide it. It was that crappy face. I talked about the situation here this morning. Imagine someone having to hide in a container out of fear of being booed. It was strategic, right? Globo together with Eduardo Paez, together with Lula. They had already planned that when the booing started, the sound would go up. They turned up the volume to drown out the booing and the popular outrage that was all over Sapucaí. Public money being poured out, dumped into the political campaign. It was just beautiful. Can you imagine someone having to hide in a container out of fear of being booed? Then she arrived, Lula at the drums and all, but it was already over. That was already over. Way at the back of the parade and all. It wasn't even the school's song playing, right? She went there just so people wouldn't say she chickened out that much, but the damage was already pretty much done. And here, I want to show you all. The freeloader Noblar, all full of perks, these people, right? The freeloader Noblar, he posted here. These patriots were at the parade, and when Lula passed by, they turned their backs on him. Look at that. A group of revelers were present in Sector 11 very close to Eduardo Paez's box, where Lula was, last night. He drew public attention by wearing a Brazil shirt and displaying a flag on the railing by the track. Most of the time, they stayed with their backs to the parade, refusing to sing the samba. That's the thing, right? It's true that you like carnival, right? You went, but you didn't have the courage to sing because it's just too much of a mistake, right? It's absurd. And here, the protest. A man protests against the National Institute of Social Security theft during a parade honoring Lula. Look at those guys playing. Can I turn on the audio? Look at the people in the background, see? While the school was passing by, they wore thief masks about the National Institute of Social Security theft. Look at him pointing here, the bag of money, the 300,000 reais from Lula's son, while the big Lula puppet was passing by. They're showing off those 300,000, reminding us of the 300,000 that Lula's son received as a bribe, plus 25 million. No one knows if it's in reais, dollars, or euros. I always say that because people need to know, right? The euro is worth much more than the real, and the dollar too. That's a lot, huh? That's it. Lula's like that. It happened here too. Everywhere. Very important person boxes are all the same.
Pavanata here to that.
Applause.
Pavanata's bag over there. Look, the people's demonstration. Aju was there too. Julite, right? Big personalities. The most famous people in politics, guys. If I had known it would turn out this well, right? It was really beautiful. The guy is desperate. For someone to have to hide in a container, draw your own conclusions. Janja hiding in a container. Man, it couldn't be better, right? All of this we've seen. Everything falling apart for all those sellouts. They thought they could humiliate the Brazilian people. Using so much public money to run an explicit electoral campaign. Now it's checkmate, right? Because they know there will be a reaction. Andre Mendonça is not Alexandre de Moraes. Cássio Nunes is not Benedito. There, a mission given is a mission accomplished. If lightning struck there, it will have to strike here too. It's going to be a lot of pressure, right? Maybe, who knows? In this whole thing it was rushed. Maybe Lula will already start the election period. Already ineligible, right? Because he challenged. He took the risk. He wanted to see what would happen. Well, if they take me out of the race, I'll use, that old saying from the PT, right? I play the victim saying, look, it was Bolsonaro's minister who made me ineligible. If nothing happens, I just pay a little fine and that's it. Even if everyone is criticizing me, at least my name is getting attention. So let's wait and see, because if it happened to Bolsonaro, it has to happen to Inácio too, right? According to Alexandrian laws, what Lula did was, by far, 1,000,000 times worse than what Bolsonaro did. He simply met with ambassadors, attended the September 7th event, which he was president for, and it's a festive date for the whole country. There was no public funding. Everything was paid for right there. It's not about the people, the trio they talk about and all that. And people genuinely wanted to be there to support Bolsonaro, and everyone was invited. Simone, Tepsi, Gomez, even Palero himself. All of them didn't go because they didn't want to. Unlike here, where Lula used money to parade in that school. Share this video, spread Janja's embarrassment, hit the like button. Come join our family by subscribing to the channel. I'll return soon with more updates here on the Paese Filos channel, Fabiano Guiguet.